team that has some momentum because they won the first game. Pretty dumb thing of me to say, but something that's not dumb of me to say is that Top Esports look a lot better than they did against Suning. So signs of life, always something good to say.
It's happening, boys.
Yeah, Ord ban.
369 is getting Ord bans. Oh my god.
So what now, Clement? Where do we go from here?
Oh, jeez. I never thought this day would actually come. Look at Warhorse. He's laughing his ass off. He can't believe
it. Holy crap. You banned Orn.
What? You never ban Orn against 369. Oh.
Okay, well, Syndra's going to go there as well, Clement, against Knight. So, I don't know. Maybe things have to change from here.
Now, I just want to give 369 a hug, man. He got bullied so hard all the time for not being able to play Orn, yeah, but he's finally getting the respect he deserves. He still has the Cyan. That's the second go-to pick for tanks for him.
Yep, but also remember, you know, he's played a bit of the Malphite during the regular season, and Malphite is a bit more relevant right now. Let's just see. Nidalee first pick here for Rogue Warriors, so we're still at that poke angle with the snowballing jungler.
Yep, and Top Esports have a lot of things open. We have seen them try to run some things like Renekton and Talia, or they could just go straight back to the Kaisa game plan that we've seen. Nothing changing so far on their side.
That's true. Kaisa back on Graves as well. Double AD carry here for Top Esports. Rogue Warriors, let's just see. The Zoe's been left open, the Jhin left open, but they go a different direction. The Aphelios, as mentioned, usually partnered with this support.
And we have seen Cullen have a very good game on the... That's Forge, by the way. Have a very good game on the Aphelios. He did have a 4-0 start in the WE series. Unfortunately, they weren't able to close the deal, but it does look like Rogue Warriors have once again identified their main carries, and they're probably just going to slot in a couple more front lines for Rogue Warrior, for the likes of Ziv to play that front to back.
It has a smile on his face. Is it going to be his fabled Zoe, one of the best Zoes in the LPL? The Syndra was banned away, but this left open and blind pick worthy. Absolutely, we're going to see it once again.
Yep, taking away from the potential poke comp out of Forge. And this is pretty interesting about Forge's pool. Essentially, he has a bunch of melee champions, and then he has Zoe. So if you take away Zoe, he's forced into rather uncomfortable positions. The Aurelia is actually targeted at Forge. He's a very good Forge player. He's a very good Aurelia player. And that's what he first made his name on when he was subbing in for Rookie on IG.
It does look like, you know, Forge as well, a bit of a Yone player, because some teams haven't seen Yone as worth banning away. Lyric and I were talking about it being worth, you know, as some teams' perspective, but other teams just letting it go through. So Forge, you know, previously also a Yasuo player from my understanding. Melee mid laners, pretty much. Also, the Lucian is going to slide through.
Yikes. This is quite terrifying, and what we've seen from a lot of drafts against Rogue Warriors is if you just target out Forge, they actually just don't have a winning lane. So their early game suffers quite heavily from the target banning that we see coming out from Top Esports, because essentially all 5 of these picks are Forge champions.
True. It's very targeted, right? And now you've got like Knight in a very comfortable position. Forge, is he willing to take something like a Renekton mid? Because this is still a flex pick. We're waiting for the solo lanes of Rogue Warriors that they have to show us now.
Okay, Ziv looks like he's about to join the dark side. Coming out of some meditation.
Yeah.
Oh, is it going to be some spice?
All right, Clement. Let's just wait and see, all right? Chill out, brother. We know that his
Forge
first week of the LPL.
Champion pool.
He does.
Let me just tell you this.
This is realistic, though.
Yes. Decent matchup against Zoe. Good AD AP spread for the mid jungle. And still keeping some of that poke element alive with the Jace.
Yeah, there's a lot of poke between Haro and Forge combined.
And I do want to mention that this still could be a flex pick, because we do have Ziv playing a lot of Jace as well.
Okay, we'll get our final answer in a second. At the very least, you're going up against the Kennen, so maybe they want that range advantage. As 369 is going to pilot that one again. I got to say, yesterday, LPL Kennen sucked, so I hope we're on a new leaf coming into today.
And it does look like it's just going to be the tried and true standard pick right here. Ziv going into the top lane with the Renekton. Bit of poke coming in from Rogue Warriors on the middle, and hyper carry on the bottom side. Meanwhile, Top Esports again going for a composition that can play front to back, but can also be very dynamic and just fly in with the like of Slicing Maelstrom. We typically do see the Unsealed Spellbook here, so you can run Ghost or heal coupled up with the flash, you get a tag on someone, and Kaisa just flies straight in. So it's a bit more skirmish focused on the side of Top Esports, and a lot of options open actually for the Rogue Warriors comp.
So tell me about those options, because you've still got that bit of poke, you've got a bit of engage as well. You don't have that natural frontliner as you would with something like a Leona Alistar or, you know, even an Ornn top. But there is still the poke elements that we saw in Game 1.
Yeah, I think what we're going to see is a lot of targeted ganks into the bottom side of the map. They do have Thresh against Set, so it's quite easy to actually just target him out. Probably try to burn his summoners early, have Haro come down and collect some kills. And also, just to remind you, Cullen is the new addition to Rogue Warriors and the player that they are hyping up the most as kind of their young savior to this new squad.
The AD carry we haven't seen. He was in Rogue Warriors Shark, the LPL team, for a little bit of summer, but he's hardly played any competitive League of Legends. This is his first LPL split, and he's going against Jackulov out of all AD carries, and against Top Esports, who won Game 1. And again, under 30 minutes. It's been a quick day so far. It's 7:50 p.m. here. Jayo's coming through. Alright, well, RW has a stronger chant because the man leading the charge is an absolute baller. Well, here we go. Game 2, and I know you can't see it. Someone's nodding to me down the bottom of the screen. I wish we could talk about this, but we can't anymore. Haro walking into Casa. Ward gonna get dropped down as well. Casa dodges away from a shock blast. This is the poke we already started off with here for Rogue Warriors.
We get a lot of nice information here, and we definitely see Top Esports being very aware that there's a potential level 2 gank coming out from the likes of Haro. They are preemptively warding down onto the bottom side of the map, just to make sure that a lane gank isn't really possible. And this is a strategy that we do really expect out of Rogue Warriors, is for them to sort of hard commit to the bot lane, try to find kills there, and start their early games that way.
At the very least, getting Unleash here, bot side for both these junglers, Clement. And Unleash going to Casa this time. Remember, in game number 1, he didn't get Unleash, he just soloed red, and was a little bit slower on the uptake of clearing jungle camps, but this time away, he'll clear blue first, and he'll make his way up to the top side.
Yep, really nice play by Ziv right there, using the brushes super well. We do have to point out that he is actually using the press the attack, so a little bit more burst damage in that matchup. And on the bottom side, we are seeing a nod to Chocho, who was actually previously on Top Esports. He was one of the founding members of Don Gaming, and sorry, I'm cut short.
No, it's okay. The killer instinct at the ready. Sorry, the second skin, I should say. Curlin just gets chunked out so hard. To continue with your point, Clement, that's right. Chocho promoted with them when it was Dan Gaming.
Yeah, so Chocho has been a long-standing favorite for the Top Esports fan base. They know him super well, and he actually did sub in last split for Jackulov when Jackulov came down with the flu.
He has gone between support, AD carry. Now he's back to support once again. So this time with the new AD carry, it's already getting bullied out in this lane. Again, we just saw a really good trade here from Top Esports in the bottom lane. The same from Knight, who has a redemption for some reason. I'm so glad that doesn't hit minions anymore, but still, Zoe with redemption this early on is, you know, a lot of years in the making.
Definitely is. I really like that change. The old redemption used to do 250 true damage to minions, so you could instantly pop level 4 with that. Now that's no longer the case. I think it's a lot more bearable.
But I will say, still champion damage to add pressure to this mid lane, who Forge already bullied out a little bit. We should also take note that in this mid lane matchup, Clement, it is heal versus cleanse, so we don't have teleport, we don't have ignite, but electrocute Zoe is something that, you know, we don't see every day.
Yeah, this is pretty interesting. I think what Knight is banking on is the fact that there's a lot of low health targets coming from Rogue Warriors. Typically, we do see Unsealed Spellbook as the summoner, as the rune of choice for most Zoes. Guys like Ooming, they pretty much only run Unsealed Spellbook. Gives them a lot more chances to use summoners and just pop their spell thieves extra. But this time around, a lot of easy targets for him to find, and another 4v2 income.
A lot of kill threat. Bottom lane, here's the play. Knight's level 4 with exhaust onto Curl, and the death sentence to save his life. The dark passage, maybe no. Dead in the end by the support. Top Esports get first blood. Now to Chocho. The trouble bubble lands.
Oh no.
He's against the wall. The paddle star from Knight. How he hit that, that's just Knight things, baby.
is it just me, or does every Team Warhorse coach look pretty much the same? Because this is FPX's bread and butter play.
True. I mean, hitting bottom lane, it's, you know, very much an FPX play out of the textbook. 1,500 gold lead, though, Clement, after that play. And really nicely done. 1-0 on this Zoe in the mid lane. Roams down, picks up a Seeker's arm guard. So things already starting off well in Game 2.
Yeah, that was a great call on their side. Basically playing off the fact that Forge went back for the tier timing. He wasn't there in the mid lane, and they had quite an easy way into the bottom side of the map. He doesn't even lose that many minions. The pushback doesn't go all the way to tower. And Knight is sitting pretty here. He got 1 kill, 1 assist, and isn't even really down on CS.
Haro now knows he needs to do something about it. Chocho moving mid as well, but this could just be to start off the Dragon. At least get some objectives down. Of course, with the Nidalee, Haro is leading in CS, but Karsa did just make the play bot, so he's back to his own jungle, while the objective's going to be started by Rogue Warriors.
Really good bounce back on the side of Rogue Warriors.
Yep.
And they are the team that do favor going for Drakes a little bit more. They have the poke composition, and also they do have the front line kind of with the Renekton. So they're kind of looking at this as more of their win condition rather than the top esports side of things. I think top esports is much more about picking people as they come in towards the Drake. So always good to get on that Drake train early and get the fights that you actually prefer for your composition.
It's also kind of funny, right? Because there is range that they can play with too. You know, we talked about the poke of Rogue Warriors, but top esports still have the Zoe, the Cannon, who can kind of play at a range as well. Kaiser too, who can gap close. So there is a way top esports can, in some plays, you know, out-angle the side of Rogue Warriors.
Oh no.
Oh, this is not good. This is not good. Knight lane dominance continues, if anyone was wondering.
Knight just doing Knight things, you know? Like, every split that he's played so far, on average, around 15 minutes, he's up about 500 gold. So, should not expect any different.
I love how close to level 6, Clement. I'm looking at the bottom left-hand side of my screen. It's still a way bit off. Yeah, so no Killer Instinct available after dodging away from the death sentence, but he has to use the cleanse while also on a ward.
So there is an opportunity here for Rogue Warriors. They do have the teleport advantage from the top lane. And, you know, that's something that they could definitely use if they have the Black Ward. We actually see them pinging it out right now in bot.
Knight's walked into a brush. Battlestar doesn't connect on the way out. Heal burn. That's Knight's real heal. They need to get out. They know. The teleport Clement just talked about is going to start doing something as Knight goes down with a flash over the wall. Collateral damage secures the 1-for-1, but Rogue Warriors, the rest of them are here. 369 has Spellbook, but he's only got Barrier. He can't match it. And Jaculov goes down as well. Rogue Warriors win out.
Yeah, that was a great counterplay to what Top Esports were doing. They were trying to run the same 4v2 wraparound play, doing with it with Karsa and Knight, and a great punish on the side of Rogue Warriors. I really think Top Esports should have communicated the fact that 369 had swapped out his teleport right now and try to avoid the 5v4. I think that was a bit of a mistake on Top Esports, to be honest. They definitely could have avoided that.
Just waiting for that play to come into action while you were having a chat there, Clement. I noticed that, you know, the play in advance for Rogue Warriors was just great. You're right, they could have avoided it. Top Esports weren't able to make a response play with Karsa moving back into Fog of War in the brush bottom lane. So Rogue Warriors, they're not going to get back the gold that was taken by Top Esports at the start of this game, but they are going to get some gold onto some of the key carries. Forge and Haro now with a kill.
And we do have to point out that Haro actually went for a very, very early Dark Seal here. Dark Seal no longer gives mana, so it's actually a very efficient first item these days. So if he does get going and he does start to ramp up, we could see something like we saw in Shun, where he gets extremely fed on this Nidalee. Folklore is going for another interesting play, just forcing the team fights over and over again. I really like this from them.
Yeah, and it's just gone, right? If you don't force the team fight, you force them out. Herald, first one of the game at 8 minutes 40, over to Haro.
And an interesting move that they tried twice before, a very early preemptive tower swap and lane swap, excuse me. And what this does is it means that your bottom lane doesn't lose too much CS in the swap because they have the wave set up there and they also have the Herald. But in the meantime, it does mean that Ziv does spend a lot of time actually getting zoned out completely from his wave.
Yeah, he's pushed back in. You can see also on the top side as well, like, Curl is just doing his own thing, Aphelios things, while Ziv, now, he moved to the Raptors, but Karsa's even going to deny him that. I was just going to mention, Clement. Yeah.
I did not wrong him when I called him a punching bag, because Rogue Wars is definitely using him as such.
I was going to say, like, this is a Ziv happening again. Oh my god, this production. This is a sexy camera angle. That was nice. Jackie Love trying to catch up to the first turret blood that Rogue Warriors just took.
So it really is up to Rogue Warriors to do something with this Mythic lead. What they're trying to do is force gold onto Culling, so he will likely hit his Kraken Slayer or Gale Force. I think most of the time we are going to see Kraken Slayer here a little bit earlier, and hopefully he can use that Mythic lead to snowball the Drake fights. If that doesn't happen, however, they are essentially playing a 4v5 later into the game, because this Renekton is going to be kind of useless.
Yeah, I agree. You know, we know what Renekton does. Is bottom side of your screen, you're just looking at a replay of the Herald getting a second charge onto the inner turrets. So bigger lane now up in that top side. Rogue Warriors only down 1,000 after getting first turret blood. It is important to note that top esports chipped down the bottom turret, so that's kind of on a breeze to knock it over, and Jackie Love picked up most of the turret plating himself. He's up 20 CS, and once again, just like our first series of the day, Clement, of FPX, it is bot versus, you know, one of these solo lanes versus the junglers for this top esports squad.
Yeah, this is not supposed to happen. We have Kennen incoming. It's going to be another 4v2 into the bot side.
Right in front of Dragon. That teleport, just in case something was going to happen. 369's like, where's the party at? And out he goes. Fair enough. To secure Dragon? I mean, that's... Let's be optimistic.
He scares off everyone else.
Yeah. Yeah. It probably gets it without it, but doesn't matter. Top esports at the very least, they'll kill this Dragon. And then we'll get into the Ocean / the Mountain Rift. You want Ocean? And we get Mountain anyway, so that's okay. Coming right up.
Is going to go for the safer option in the Gale Force here for Cullen. Hopefully, if he kill steals someone, we can hear Gale Forces being chanted from Rogue Warriors players as well.
Yeah. Or Doombee's back in the crowd with Nuguri shouting Gale Force. If you missed that interview before, go and have a look. Actually, quite a bit of great banter. Good trades mid though. Stolen heal from Knight. Didn't have to use his original, while Forge is about half a level behind from what I could see. He's also down a tiny bit of CS and not doing too much damage against Knight anymore. With the Seeker's Armor Guard picked up, Arm Guard, excuse me. He's still so close to moving that Lost Chapter into his core item, getting towards that Mythic where Zoe just pops with a Luden's Echo.
I want to say that teleport actually ended out as a 5-head play coming out from 369, because if you see what it actually does, it delayed the back timing from Cullen, and it meant that when Cullen had his item advantage, his Mythic advantage, there was no objective to fight for anymore. So that's a very interesting, like, just reading out what Rogue Warriors are doing with the lane swaps and punishing them to the maximum. They're just denying their play completely.
Holy, I mean, that's beyond. That's a 6-head. Something that, you know, no one would have seen if it wasn't for you, Clement Chu. This is what we've been missing for a year, brother. That's why it's great to have you back. As Rogue Warriors pushing this bottom side.
Really nice tempo play, and I think a lot of people, especially newer viewers, don't really understand what a tempo play is. It's when you sequence things so you can actually do less as you go forward. And that's exactly what they did. They used the teleport early, they went to the Drake first, they made sure that Culling couldn't arrive on the scene with his Mythic item first because they've been force-feeding him so much turret gold. And when he did get that Mythic spike, nothing to fight over on the map. Completely get away with it, and now Ziv, you know, is just kind of in a bad position.
And we're at this point where top esports, yeah, kind of like catching up to any of the weaknesses they had too on top of that, right? Maintaining bottom side as good face breaker in the bottom side. Cullen still picks up the turret play with 30 seconds left to go, so we'll say it's still okay as the showstopper used in the bottom lane. Is it going to be a follow-up draw using the Haymaker? Flashes away. Jackie Love wasn't there, and I think draw maybe went a bit early.
Yeah, that was kind of interesting. I don't think the stun actually landed, so the plasma stack wasn't there for the Killer Instinct. I definitely felt like that was a situation where Jackie Love could have flown in. He was coming off with a sizable item advantage, so somehow the plasma stack just wasn't there.
Yeah, at Gale Force too, so maybe Jackie Love could have followed that one up with the lethality of Serrated Dirk. But we've had a very slow early game. You know, as Clement talked about before to our lovely audience, is how we saw that tempo play of 369 put Top Esports in a position where they had tempo in their favor, and they're just farming up, right? We've got a lot of strong 1-2 items across this team, and that's what they're getting towards, also towards the next Dragon. 369's walking in, but Forge can just walk himself. But Clement, what do you want to see next? What are we gearing up for here? Because the audience doesn't want to fall asleep. They want to say, hey, we got Clement Chew and Hysterics walking us through this. We want to know what's coming up.
I think what's coming up next is Top Esports making a ton of picks. However, Rogue Warriors have got them beat.
Yeah, they have. Okay, maybe it's 80 carry versus 80 carry. Oh my god! Halo Blades Kaiser with a serrated Dirk. Goodbye, 200 years. This guy was, a year before you.
I told you that is why it was definitely the plasma stack not sticking. Because Jackie Love would have taken that Killer Instincts a minute earlier. If that landed, he definitely would have gone in. His damage is absolutely insane at this point.
Kind of blew me away. I'm sorry. I was taken for breath. Jackie Love now 2-1 and 2. That solo kill is actually quite huge in front of Dragon, and he just waits in brush. Look at his face, just like, what are you doing?
Yep, waits for the full Q to land and then use the Gale Force. You do get an execution on that. So the lower HP the enemy is, the more damage you will do there. Perfect combo.
Well, Mr. Chew, I ask you again, what do you want to see now? Because that solo kill has actually ramped things up. Again, we're getting towards Dragon. The gold lead is at 2,000, 15 minutes in the game, and I don't think this is a boring game. I think this is going to explode. You know, it's like tension when you go on a date. I've always talked about it. It's going to explode at some point, whether it's going back to someone's house or just, getting the souffle. Something's got to happen.
Okay, I'm not sure about the souffles, but I do like those desserts. I must be honest about that.
I was going to say you're
I'll
sure
be
about
honest,
the apartment.
I think Rogue Warriors' game plan is kind of flat on its face right now, because what they did is they sacked their top lane early just to get an item lead on their bottom lane, and now their bottom lane is completely eclipsed by Jackie Love's items. So there's not a lot they can really do to claw back in the game, and what I want to see is Top Esports styling. I want to see the one-shots coming out from Jackie Love, and I want to see Knight do kind of the same.
The Observer was looking at this ward for a reason. This is a flanking ward if I've ever seen one. 369 hasn't been spotted out until now. This is the second TP he's made, but nothing can be done with it. They know he's here. Pings were coming through.
A little less 5-head than the previous teleport that we've seen.
God. Clement. They're like great TPs when you think about it. But then you see them in action, you go, well, that was good shit.
Yeah, but he's still in a good flanking position. I think Top Esports is definitely going to go straight into this one. They're not going to wait.
Let's see. On to the Dragon. Half health was curling. He's bopped out by Knight from what I could see. Jackie Love behind there as well. And a 2K. Spear hits. 2,000 there. Haro on the back end at level 11. But this time, full on. Who needs the flank when you're going to do that anyway? 369 will trade his life, but in with the showstopper. The face breaker. And it's the showmaker that'd be looking on from Korea, saying this team's pretty bloody good. 3 kills in the back of Casa, and Top Esports have just solidified this game.
Ladies and gentlemen, Duel has landed. His engages this series have been absolutely sick right here. If you guys don't know, the 2 most anticipated rookies coming into 2021 are Duel on this team and IG's Shun in the jungler position. And to watch them get off to a good start is absolutely amazing. Great flanking position coming in from 369. That's the typical spot that Kennons love to go in on the enemy team. They take out Renekton at the start of it, and just watch this. A beautiful 2-man face breaker right here, followed up by the Killer Instinct. And Top Esports, they just make mincemeat out of Rogue Warriors.
Isn't it great? They've made a champion where Haymaker and Showstopper put together becomes this great mid laner called Showmaker. But at the very least, I always mince my words because that combination is great from a set. And we saw a really nice ultimate there from Draw. They get the kills, they wipe the team, they get the gold lead firmly in place, and they get the Dragon with a couple more to go before Sol. So just a bit of context there for our audiences. That Trouble Bubble landed, flash given. Red buff is a friend to Rogue Warriors because I think Haro would have just been dead.
Very close call right here. They're still going to go for this. They do have numbers advantage on the top side. And yeah, it looks like they're going to continue this push. Probably try to camp up here and find a couple more picks on the side of Rogue Warriors.
Okay,
doesn't really get it.
Yeah, I'm about to say. You know, we're at a point where game has been like relatively slow, but again, remember, top esports maintaining control for the most part. Going into the enemy jungle of Rogue Warriors and taking away many resources. Almost up to a 4,000 gold lead at almost 20 minutes in the game. But the items we want to keep track of, because the fight that we're expecting to see could be 80 carry based, is Jackie Love and Cullen. Cullen now picks up the Renan's Hurricane, but Collector picked up for Jackie Love to give him that execute.
We have seen how this one goes, and there's just so many sweet, juicy targets on the side for Rogue Warriors. For Jackie Love to just burst down. He will be able to one-shot combo the likes of Haro. Haro really needs to... Oh, well, he built Zhonya's first, so there's no problem there. But the same goes for Forge. He's in the danger zone, and we've seen what happened to Cullen when he walks point blank into a brush, instantly deleted by Jackie Love. It's really all about top esports just finding some distraction. Once they have someone in that isn't Jackie Love can just fly in and just finish off the deal very easily. So, pretty hard for Rogue Warriors. I think they do need to find some picks like this one.
Wait, yeah, this is a great pick. Javelin toss connects. He's just dead. Slicing Maelstrom was a waste of time. Rogue Warriors execute beautifully here on the pick. And top esports don't really have much of a response.
Yep, they are going to get this tower right here. There's no objectives on the map. So Rogue Warriors should be happy with this amount of gold.
Night Harvester. Oh my dear lord. Haro with a couple of autos. He's killed Knight. Troll bubble in front of the turret means nothing, as he'll take it in the end after using his Zhonya's. Nicely done from this duo.
Oh, that was a disgusting amount of damage. And just like that, Rogue Warriors are putting themselves back onto the map. That was 1 turret, 2 kills traded for nothing. Top Esports scrambling to find some closure on the top side.
Yeah, they're waiting in a brush, waiting for Forge to walk in, but he's none the wiser. Forge ends up getting a shock blast too, and Rogue Warriors is on the blue buff. Caster still gets it out. That's still not a win for top esports, but it's, I guess, a style point to add on.
Yeah, and Rogue Warriors are closing the distance on this one. That was a pretty large swing in terms of gold. I believe Knight did have some sort of a bounty there.
Yep.
And let's watch that again. You know, just good flash in with the Ruthless Predator, insta-kill onto the likes of Kennen. And we're going to see how Haro finds this one. He actually takes a very interesting path. Kind of predicts where Zoe is going to land up. He definitely sees it with the portal jump right there. Follows from on the side, comes out of vision blind. Lands that max distance Q. Flash in to finish off the kill. Very well done on Haro's part.
I think Knight thought he was going to be past the max range, but yeah, Haro gets him to half health immediately. And Knight goes down too. Both solo lane is dropping. Puts the gold lead from about 4,500 down to about 2. If even that. So Rogue Warriors still in this game, still have the poke that you mentioned, you know, can change the fate of these battles. And we're about to have one of those battles with Dragon spawning in a minute 10. So a lot of setup here, a lot of looking towards second items across the board for both these teams.
And we have seen how the likes of Aphelios and Thresh can play out in the late game. I felt like E-Stars, Chelsea, and Rat had a tremendous game on that combination, where you do get the Mikhail's Crucible onto the likes of Thresh, and you just make sure that the Aphelios can never die. He can go into the Severum and just heal up almost instantly with the Runan's Hurricane. And once he gets to that 3-item spike, anything can happen. It's all about that Infinity Edge that you're going to get with the 60% crit with the rest of your items. It gives you that extra crit damage multiplier, and that's where the game really starts from Rogue Warriors. And to be honest, since they're only down like less than 2k, that can definitely happen this game.
It's also about, you know, the right gun selection. We haven't seen Aphelios like that much, well, at Worlds especially, we didn't. It's always about the gun selection in the team fights. As Trollbubble lands, but there's no follow-up. Now, top esports are set up here nicely with vision, but Rogue Warriors are in the pit first. Jackie Love a little bit late to the party. He was picking up a Zeal as 369 is aiming for that flank that we still really haven't seen.
Yep, the Sleepy Trouble Bubble does land, so I like Rogue Warriors' positioning right here. They're trying to force out the brush that we saw 369 use earlier.
Cool here as well for the flank. He's in the back. It's Swore again, but this time 369 finally gets the flank on top. 369 goes down in the end, though, as Jackie Love does too. Haro does so much damage. As top esports are left with scraps, it's only Knight, it's only Draw, it's only Caster as he goes forward, but Ziv finally doing his fair share. Knight weaving his way. He's got a Gale Force in his inventory as Forge gets lower. Flash stolen as well. Forge moves through the mid lane. Trouble Bubble needs to connect to find the pick, but it doesn't. And Rogue Warriors evenly trade the fight.
That was very well done on Haro's part. Him going into the backline and sniping out JackeyLove was why they won that team fight. If JackeyLove was able to retreat from that narrow choke point, the rest of the members on Top Esports were able to hold that out and take the Drake away from that one. It was a really, really bad start coming into this for for Rogue Warriors as they come in. Cullen dies almost immediately, but this is the hero play from Haro. He gets the summoners out from JackeyLove. He trades away the AD carries, and they also break apart the formation for Top Esports, allowing for the follow-up kill on Zakarsa as well. So, no, bad start, but very good save on Haro.
It's also that Night Harvester with the Zonya's Hourglass, right? Because Night Harvester gives you the movement speed. You can toggle between champions in the team fight and make your escape. And enough time was committed there by Top Esports, where Rogue Warriors can now reset, move into this Mountain Dragon, take some of the stats for the Renekton, who's essentially going to be that front line as we move to this mid to late game, and get Rogue Warriors in a more favorable position to continue the series.
And I didn't think I would be saying this, but the tables really are turning because even though Rogue Warriors don't have a lot of takiness, Top Esports don't have a lot of takiness either. Their composition is essentially made of paper. With this Infinity Edge on the way, oh my god, they're going to be completely shredded against this comp.
But hang on, Draw's in a flanking position again. Maybe not, maybe we don't get to that point. It's up to Haru, who goes golden once more. Chocho's low for 369, in for the slicing Maelstrom, onto two people. He needs to play for time though, because Curlin will just destroy him. Knight goes forward once again, JackeyLove takes a shot, and the Shuriken King stays alive with Rogue Warriors having the man advantage.
I gotta give that teleport a 3, just because the only target that was low was Chocho. So a bit of a head scratcher right there, and Rogue Warriors really are mounting the comeback.
Chocho waiting for the death sentence, Clement onto Baron. Dwar's here. He's had some decent engagement for 369, letting the squad down. Casa behind the pit. Dwar doesn't have his ulti or any summoners available at 3k. Casa needs to get a steal. He doesn't have a flash. He has quick draw in. Knight goes in as well. Casa on top of the Baron, but it's secured by Haro. With 26 HP to go, he drops down as well. And Rogue Warriors now have to survive from JackeyLove, who gets 2 onto the 3rd. Jackie freaking Love, man, even though they originally lost the Baron.
How the hell did he actually get that? He saved his team so much of that split push potential from Rogue Warriors by deleting the Baron buffs right there. Gets 3 kills right underneath the nose of the entire Rogue Warriors squad. Jesus. That was an insane save to watch.
What a save it was, Clement. After the steal doesn't go well, Casa sacrifices his life, and JackeyLove just showing us why we called him the best AD carry, why he won Worlds. This is a JackeyLove Hype Club, and we're going to watch the replay again because remember, Rogue Warriors still got the Baron.
A lot of things are going wrong for Top Esports right now. 369 is dead. Karsa dies at the start of this. Let's watch JackeyLove. He gets the Q on 2 targets. Killer Instinct into the backline. Flash to finish up a 3rd one. That was just insane to watch. And I love we get the actual replay from the POV point of JackeyLove. Goes into Supercharge, into the brush, forward with Gale Force, Killer Instinct onto the back.
Dodges a shock blast with that flash. That flash, you know, that shock blast would have killed him. He flashes over it in the end.
The way he played around those brushes at the start of that fight was just such a thing of beauty to watch.
Yeah. I mean, after that, he gets some kills. Now we're going for the fight again. JackeyLove right in front. Onto Curlin, he's dead. That's a big member down for Rogue Warriors. And now they're a man down in general. Another kill goes over. Top Esports winning across as Casa kills Chocho. Rogue Warriors had Baron on some core members, but have now just given it away.
3 kills down the drain right there. I don't know how many Barons that they still have. Probably only 1 left on Ziv in this scenario. And Top Esports are looking to make a final push here.
With Dwar at the helm. Remember that Dwar has just been playing the game so well. And alongside JackeyLove, this bottom lane of Top Esports performed out of their mind to put them in this position. Inhibitor broken down in the mid lane, and I'll correct myself, Ziv the only person with Baron left remaining. As Knight goes in, does a bit of damage to this Croc. And Top Esports in a very good position still to try and win out this game.
Definitely want to see the replay of that one. It seemed like Zuo actually just came out of the right side of the river. How did he get past Chocho? Chocho was just there in that spot. Oh my god, this is such a five-head play. He wraps around Chocho. He knows he's there, gets through the support, and finds the prime target on Culling. Without the 3-item hyper carry, everything goes down.
We're going again. JackeyLove actually flashes over the red wall, and he's just dead. Top Esports got a pick, but now Knight and JackeyLove's dead. So we go on.
Okay.
Go on.
That was an interesting turn of events. I'm not sure why the 2 carries were in the red side jungle. The rest of the team isn't there whatsoever.
Well, JackeyLove could have that great play, and then whatever happened. I mean, we don't have context, but caught out is, you know, not good. Not good, because now 20 seconds. Death time is getting longer as the game goes on. And when you don't have your 4-item Kai'Sa, who's really been putting this game in perspective, Rogue Warriors can keep delaying. Give this Aphelios his, you know, 4th item coming up as well, Clement.
Yeah, that's going to be very scary, and I do want to point out that on blue side, if you're fighting for that Dragon Soul, it's a lot easier to hold off these ramps. Like, honestly, you just have to look at blue and the ramp over to your left side. If you have someone like Thresh just walk up, it's very easy to zone away these targets. So I think for Top Esports, they actually put themselves in a very dire spot in the next 5 minutes.
Where Soul is available. And Double Mountain already giving the buffs over to Rogue Warriors. You can't see it, but Rogue Warriors' Baron buff was minus 711. Doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Rogue Warriors still getting those picks, set them up for that Dragon, and they're at item points where the next Baron fight could be pretty big. I'm, of course, referring to Haro, who has a Rabadon's death cap. You know, that 3,800 gold item is going to be a huge spike for this 3-item Nidalee.
And there really isn't much protection for JackeyLove coming out of here. There's no shielding, no Guardian, Keystones, and we have to mention that there is no lifeline on the Phantom Dancer anymore.
Yep.
So this is a purely offensive build coming in from JackeyLove. If he gets sniped out, Rogue Warriors can actually just roll this team fight.
Because I was going to ask you how Rogue Warriors play the next fight, you know, utilizing the poke, or if it's something to do with maybe Ziv getting in position to give them space.
It's not that difficult for Rogue Warriors. What they do is they do want to get in position for Drake first, and they just seal off the 2 entry points into River coming out from red side. They have Thresh probably move further forward, have Renekton kind of block the other one, and if they ever land a spear onto JackeyLove, that fight's just over. JackeyLove doesn't really have the lifesteal on his build. He might have the Ravenous Hunter, but still, there's no item lifesteal on this build whatsoever, so he's actually going to take a long time to recover if he ever takes a spear to the face.
We'll even say, you know, like, Knight, if he dies too, that's a big source of burst damage down, because he's got the Void stuff, he's got the Horizon Focus, so one shot is very, very realistic. But Knight's been kind of quiet this game. Just kind of been setting up for these 80 carries across Top Esports map. But Knight's still a threat here. Rogue Warriors grouping up mid, Clement. 5 seconds till Baron spawns. Top Esports have topside control. And they're trying to run away from this one. 369 spotted out on the flank. Knight can't reach as Draw comes in with the ulti. The face breaker at the ready. He flashes in place. And 369 finally gets an ulti, but now the follow-up, pretty dangerous. Gravitum onto Draw. Knight comes forward. The collateral damage is huge as Cullen survives for now. But JackeyLove again sacrifices his life to sandwich into the 80 carry of Rogue Warriors. I don't know if that was worth or not, but it was quick.
Yeah, he was trying to burn some extra stuff coming out from Cullen. He doesn't actually get the perfect timing right there. It's a 1-for-1 trade, and neither side is going to be able to start Baron at this rate.
Well, this game has just been something, huh? I mean, we always had a very quick 2-0 once again, but in a way, I'm very glad that we're going down this alley as Forge gets hit by Knight. Can anyone block Ziv there? Just in time. Forge even cleansed. I'm not sure that was good communication.
That was still fine. You do what you have to do to get out of that situation. You don't want to chance it on Knight. But let's look at what happens right here. Zuo with a masterful engage. He flashes in position to get the stun onto Cullen, but Cullen with an instant cleanse, and 369 is unable to find the lockdown onto him. There's no plasma stacks either, so Cullen actually managed to stay quite alive for a long time. In goes the trade for JackeyLove on that, and it just ends up being a 3-for-3. Now, it's important to note that the summoner is here onto Cullen. We did get his cleanse. However, his flash is still going to be up, and he's sitting on a GA. This team fight is going to get very difficult for Top Esports to finish.
I will say, At least we're still going, right? You know, 35 kills, 34 minutes. A couple of mistakes from both sides. Wouldn't be the LPL without it. And Top Esports getting tested by Rogue Warriors, where we're getting towards those full build marks for some of the core carries. And it's 64 to 62k gold. And we're getting towards, you know, a point where gold doesn't matter as much. At the very least, Clement, you know, we talked a lot about how Ziv wouldn't be as relevant. You know, the Jace will fall off too. But squishy comp from Top Esports, you also said. So it doesn't really matter. There's so much burst.
We really need to start seeing Zhonya's come out from the likes of 369. He definitely needs that stopwatch right now to enter these team fights.
Good point.
And the other thing is, I like the itemization for Rogue Warriors. They know that they're fighting a knife fight, so whoever lands the first hit just automatically wins. And they already have double GAs. So the first burst from Top Esports is not going to do that much. If Rogue Warriors are in position for this Drake, I think they take it.
369's going Rabadons next. You're right, this is a cannon without Zhonya's Hourglass when you need to play for time, so... Hoping to get that burst down, still sitting in the Nexus in Fountain. Waiting for the flank. Draw is also trying to flank here as well, but there's good control vision from Rogue Warriors on this side of the jungle. JackeyLove and Knight out into the fields of justice. Still no Rabadons. Keep an eye on your screen for these item builds. Rogue Warriors are at Soul Point.
This is so tense right here. I like the guns from Culling. He does have sustain and the Runon's Hurricane to live through all of this.
Here comes Teleport Clement. The poke down, but it's secured by Haro. Mountain Soul now achieved by Rogue Warriors. The Troll Bubble onto Zip, but it's a 2-man, 3-man Infernum with a Moonlight Vigil. Poke down from Forge doesn't really connect. Caster at half health. But with that achieved, Rogue Warriors now have the inside track of mid.
Yeah, they also burned the teleport out of 369, so there's nothing much that they can do to respond to this. They're going to get cut off. And I love Chocho's positioning. He's waiting for the box to be placed down on this corridor just to zone everyone out. And Culling joins the fight too.
Troll Bubble doesn't connect. That's the key pick tool we need to watch for Top Esports. 369 doesn't have Flash in his inventory of summoners, but he does have the Slicing Maelstrom. Remember, Baron is up, so Top Esports can't just ignore Rogue Warriors here. They're going to have to match this.
Definitely is the case, and they're starting this one already. What are the flank positions that 369 can find in this situation? He's going to have to go in head first.
Draw, here we go. Ultimate launches into the Baron pit. Draw lines him up with a Haymaker, but no one's in with him. Goes forward and dies. Haro goes golden just in time, but Rogue Warriors have low health bars. JackeyLove wants to clean this one up, but it's blocked. Knight, can he get the angle as Caster runs forward onto Curlin, burning down. He needs a hit with Gravitum and he secures Caster in place. Manages to get out, but the Troll Bubble connects still. Knight with a fake flash in his inventory will not use it over the wall. And Top Esports lose one, but get the health bars to their advantage.
And they're going to start the Baron right here. Ziv has gone back to base. He's teleporting in. Can he actually find the position?
JackeyLove on the Forge, use the Killer Instinct here. Knight has the flash as well. Remember, into GA though. Zip teleports back in. 369. Use the Slicing Maelstrom to keep Rogue Warriors at bay. Knight still with that flash. We're waiting to see him snipe out the back line. But Rogue Warriors are back on the Baron.
Yeah, and Cullen is so damn healthy in this position. If he has two members flanking around him, he shouldn't be able to fall down.
Knight hit a Paddle Star. Fake flash again. Wait for it. Onto Ziv. Knocked up. Caster on the back. Wants to steal this time. Smokescreen does not connect. Onto Haro. Caster's in, but doesn't steal it. Haro is a Smite King this game. Onto the rest of the fight, though. JackeyLove has taken down Chocho while he's cornered by Curlin. The Aphelios is still alive with Calibrum in hand. And Rogue Warriors, this fiesta of a game, gives them Baron again.
That was round 3 coming out from Top Esports. Zor died at the start of that fight, and he had enough time to actually come back and do that one again. A little bit unfortunate on the side of JackeyLove that he wasn't able to actually snipe out the likes of Haro on the right side with the Gale Force right there. And Cullen was able to stand his ground 1v2 on the left. So they're looking to close this one out.
All right, Clever. We're going to see first, right? Because Caster onto Curlin, dodge away from the spear is crucial. Caster still wave clearing. Draw wants that dunk down into the AD carrier who with Infernum insta clears. Curlin walking up to the Nexus. The first turret is just going to drop with the help of Severum. Curlin level 17.
He's come back up.
Yeah, we're going to see if he can teleport in, right? Not teleport, but rather just walk down. Curlin trying to be delayed by the side of Top Esports. 369 walking forward too, but Rogue Warriors are out. They're not going to end the game yet.
This has been such a nail-biter of a game, and Honestly, I did not expect it to be this close between Rogue Warriors and Top Esports. Rogue Warriors were a team that were in complete rebuild. The only member that they had on their team from their previous roster was Haro. That's the only one they kept on their roster. And now they're taking it to Top Esports, who were the LPL 2nd seed and the champions in summer. Ooh, this is not a great look for Top Esports, honestly.
You know what the funny thing is? It's a good look for Rogue Warriors, who, even though they've changed their whole roster, haven't really changed their identity. They're a team that can lose to anyone but win against anyone as well. And in game 2, gold is even though it means pretty much nothing at this point. Well, next to nothing. Dwar is trying to win this game, but he's spotted out by a lens. Dwar spotted out by that lens is not good. Chocho missing the death sentence, so ulti to get out of there. Dwar needs to burn his real flash. And his flank was an attempt.
That was some really good action, by the way, from Forge.
True.
Like, he didn't know it at all. They get
Waited.
the 4-1 collapse, burn the flash. And the targets that we should be looking right now should be on the likes of Forge, because his GA is down. They need to pick on him, but then they probably need to disengage, because Culling at this point he's just not killable right now. He has the Severin in hand. He has that 20% life steal just from the gun switch, and there's also Mikhail's waiting on the side of Thresh.
I think GA is back up and available, so I'm not even sure if they've even burned it. He's going forward with Crescendum, and it's just dead. 2 inhibitors now busted open against Top Esports. 369 trying to angle for the engage. Threatens it, but doesn't find it. Trouble bubble onto Ziv means nothing. You need that 80 carry to drop. And Dwar is the one to find the flank. Rogue Warriors channeling into the base. They want to end this one here.
Going straight in, and we see the HP on Karsa. Oh my god, he's nearly dead, and Cullen is frontlining.
He's actually just walking forward with the Calibrum, has the range. Dwar can't get the face breaker. 1 Nexus turret remaining on about a breathe of health. A slither. Curlin walking forward, and here comes the rest of the minion waves. They don't have Baron anymore, but the wave clear just not really there. As Nexus now exposed. Slow in its own right. Death sentence dodged away from by Dwar, who has his ulti back up and available with a good face breaker. Launches back himself. Jackie Love's there. Dwar getting burnt down, and he's dead. 369 TP's in for the slicing maelstrom, and he's dead too. 369, this game hasn't been great while Jackie Love trying to carry once again. Forward flashes forward, but Jackie Love still lives. Probable lands as Knight is left on his lonesome into the backline. Knight has a fake flash too. Jackie Love there, walking forward. The QSS, sorry, the Merc onto Curlin. Low health bars, Knight gets a pick. These two are trying hard, but you got to bear Nexus. Rogue Warriors decide to finally just hit it. Jackie Love gets another, but it's too late. Rogue Warriors take us to a very strange game 3.
Oh my god. At the very end, Rogue Warriors still couldn't take down the 2 carries from Top Esports. They go straight for the base and finish it off in style. What an insane game. And this was a game where Rogue Warriors looked like they were completely out of it. Their opening gambit didn't work whatsoever. They